Welcome back. You're not here to learn how to make a woman fall in love with you. You're here because you felt it, that quiet intensity when a woman argues with tears, remembers what you forgot, tells you her darkest stories when she thinks you're not ready, and includes you in a future she never promised. It doesn't look like the movies, it's not always pretty, but it's real. And if you don't know how to read it, you might walk away from the one who was truly all in. This is not a video about how to impress her. This is about how to recognize her love when it arrives clothed in imperfection, in friction, in soft loyalty, in silent loyalty. When she loves you not because you finished the race, but because she sees the man who refuses to stop running. Today, we break down the 8 sacred signs that a woman is loving you deeply, vulnerably, and fully, even if she doesn't say the words. And we'll learn how a Stoic man doesn't just feel loved, he responds with presence, not possession. With grounded clarity, not emotional chaos. With calm reverence, not careless reaction. Let's begin. Number 1. When she argues with you, she's not attacking, she's protecting herself. Welcome back. You're here because deep down, you don't just want to understand women. You want to understand what love looks like when it's real, when it's messy, when it's inconvenient, and when it's screaming at you not to destroy, but to hold on. And that's exactly what happens when a woman who truly loves you begins to argue with a kind of intensity you didn't expect. Not about the dishes, not about the text you forgot to send, but about something deeper, something primal, like the way you looked at her when she was vulnerable and felt unseen. Or the moment she felt dismissed in the middle of telling you what scared her most. You see her eyes well up. You hear her say, "You don't understand me," and your instinct to defend, to explain, to fight back. Because to you, it feels like an attack. But to her, this isn't about winning. This is about defending the part of herself she gave to you. The woman who loves you has handed over something more dangerous than her body. She's handed over the emotional code to her inner world. Her insecurities, her memories, her need to feel seen, valued, and safe. And when that code feels violated, even unintentionally, she doesn't retreat into silence. She fights, because silence feels like surrender. And to her, loving you means not giving up, even when it hurts. Now, here's where most men fail. They mistake emotional confrontation for drama, for manipulation, for she's crazy. But a Stoic man sees through it. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." So when she comes at you not with logic, but with fear disguised as anger, your job is not to match her intensity, it's to anchor her. Emotional independence doesn't mean being cold. It means being centered. So instead of defending yourself, try saying, "I hear you. Let's slow down. Tell me what's hurting you the most right now." It's not about agreeing with her emotions. It's about validating that they exist. You don't need to solve her pain. You just need to create a space safe enough for her to lower her guard. And here's the paradox. The more you meet her chaos with calm, the more she learns to trust you with her soul. Because every argument, when handled with presence and patience, becomes proof. Proof that you're not just there for the good days. Proof that her mess doesn't scare you. Proof that she chose someone who can hold emotional weight without collapsing under it. When a woman argues out of love, she's saying, "I'm still fighting for us." She could have chosen to shut down. She could have chosen to smile politely and detach. But instead, she exposed her rawest edge, hoping desperately that you wouldn't walk away from it. This is the emotional battlefield. And if you're not careful, your defensiveness will look like disconnection. Your logic will sound like coldness. Your pride will become the wall she stops trying to climb. So be still, be present. And above all, don't take it personally, because the woman who loves you is not trying to defeat you. She's trying to find you again. In that fire of confrontation, she's hoping to see that you're still with her. Number 2, her breakdown is not a red flag, it's a sacred invitation. It doesn't always happen in a dramatic moment. Sometimes it's late at night when you're lying next to her, or while she's chopping vegetables mid-sentence, she goes silent. Then, out of nowhere, her voice cracks, and suddenly she's talking about something raw, how her father left, how her best friend betrayed her, how deep down she fears she'll never be enough for anyone. And for a second, you freeze. Not because you don't care, but because you never saw it coming. This is the moment where most men either pull away or attempt to fix. They say, "Don't think about it," or "That was a long time ago." Or worse, they go quiet, hoping she'll stop. But what they don't realize is this: she's not testing you, she's inviting you into her world. When a woman reveals the broken, messy, unfiltered parts of her past, it's not a sign of instability, it's a sign of immense trust. She's handing you a mirror to her soul, not to scare you, but to see if you'll flinch, if you'll look away, if you'll judge, or if you'll stay without trying to change the reflection. And here's where Stoicism becomes not just a philosophy, but a way of being. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. To love deeply is to listen deeply, to remain rooted when someone else unravels." Most men crave her softness but resist her scars. They want the woman who laughs, but don't know how to handle the woman who trembles. They say they want honesty but are unprepared for its raw form. But if you're the man she's given her emotional code to, you don't get to pick and choose which parts to love. You don't get to only want the happy, sensual, poetic side. You must also hold space for the fragments, the stories that shaped her, the pain she hides behind strength, the fears she tries to drown in perfection. So what do you do when she reveals her ugly side? You don't interrupt, you don't rescue, you don't tell her to stop crying. You stay, you breathe, and you let your presence say, "I'm not going anywhere," even if you don't have the right words, even if you don't understand every detail. Your stillness becomes her safety, your acceptance becomes her healing, and in that moment, something powerful happens. She bonds with you, not just as a lover, but as someone she can fall apart in front of without shame. The Stoic man doesn't fear emotions, he creates space for them. He knows that vulnerability is not chaos, it's connection. And when a woman opens that door, he walks in gently, without judgment, without ego. So the next time she stumbles into a moment of deep sharing, don't treat it like an emotional mess. Treat it like a sacred window into the heart of someone who chose to trust you more than her fear. Because when she cries in front of you, she's not breaking, she's building something, and she wants you to be part of it. Number 3, when she remembers what you forgot, she's not just listening, she's loving you deeply. It catches you off guard. You get in her car and hear Springsteen playing. You smile faintly, it's the same artist your father used to play on long drives. Something you only mentioned once, in passing. You didn't expect her to remember, but she did. She always does. And not just the obvious things, your birthday, your coffee order, your favorite movie. No, she remembers the things you forgot you shared. The subtle fears, the side comments, the childhood anecdotes that slipped out when you were half asleep or half drunk or half paying attention. Why? Because when a woman truly loves you, she's not just hearing your words, she's collecting you. Every detail is a puzzle piece she files away. Not to use against you, not to manipulate, but to understand. To build a more complete image of the man she's slowly, deeply falling for. And here's the part you must understand as a Stoic man. She remembers because it matters to her that you feel seen. She knows that real love isn't just about attraction, it's about attention. And the depth of her attention reflects the depth of her emotional investment. In a world full of surface-level conversations and temporary connections, Her ability to track your emotional trail is a kind of devotion. It's quiet, it's subtle, but it's powerful. Too many men dismiss this. They think it's just a small gesture. But Stoicism teaches us to observe what lies beneath the surface. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself to be alert to the tiny signs, because the divine often lives in what appears ordinary. So when she brings you the exact brand of tea you once said reminded you of your grandfather, or asks you how that old friend is doing, the one you mentioned months ago, but never brought up again, she's not just being sweet. She's saying, I care about your world, even the parts you think no one's watching. This level of love isn't loud. It doesn't demand recognition. It simply gives quietly, consistently, and with remarkable precision. And your role. Don't let that sacred attention go unnoticed. You don't need to make a big speech. You just need to be present enough to feel it. To look her in the eye and say, you always remember the things that matter to me. That means more than you know. Because the worst thing you can do is become numb to this kind of affection, to start expecting it, to forget that behind every remembered detail is someone choosing, again and again, to love you attentively. The Stoic response to such love is not grandiosity, it's gratitude. Not entitlement, but awareness. When she remembers what you forgot, remember this. It's not about the tea, or the song, or the question. It's about the message beneath the act. I see you. I remember you. You matter. And when a woman gives you that kind of devotion, don't just accept it, honor it. Because attention like that, it's not common, it's sacred. Number 4, when she challenges your comfort, she's not criticizing, she's believing in the man you could be. It usually starts with a simple question. Why haven't you gone after that job yet? You always talk about writing that book, what's stopping you? Are you really happy living like this, or are you just settling? And suddenly you feel exposed, like someone just turned a light on in a room you've been avoiding. Your instinct may be to get defensive. You hear judgment, you feel pressure. You assume she's trying to change you, trying to mold you into something you're not. But what if she's not criticizing your comfort zone? What if she's trying to expand it? You see, when a woman truly loves you, she doesn't just fall in love with who you are today. She sees the man you could become, and she refuses to let you forget him. That's not control, that's faith. And faith is never comfortable. The world will lie to you. It will tell you that love means acceptance, always. That real love never challenges, never confronts, never calls you higher. But that's only half the truth, because yes, love embraces your present. But true love, it also believes in your potential, sometimes more than you believe in it yourself. And when a woman speaks to that potential, it's not to diminish your current self. It's to awaken something in you that's been sleeping under the weight of routine. Stoicism is not about comfort, it's about discipline. It's about self-examination. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." And sometimes it takes a mirror held by someone who loves you deeply to reveal what you've been avoiding. When she says, "I know you can do better," she's not shaming you, she's investing in you. When she says, "Why are you settling for less than you're capable of?" she's not being ungrateful. She's reminding you of the fire inside you that you've been dimming to stay safe. Her love is not a cage, it's a compass. But here's the key. You must respond not with ego, but with introspection. Instead of saying, "Why can't you just accept me as I am?" try asking, "What do you see in me that I'm not seeing in myself?" Because a Stoic man doesn't reject feedback that stings. He leans into it. He asks what it reveals, and he uses it as fuel for growth, not a reason to shut down. When a woman loves you enough to challenge your complacency, don't confuse that with dissatisfaction. It's actually the deepest form of loyalty. She's saying, "I'm not just here for your potential, I'm willing to stand beside you while you pursue it." So don't silence her questions. Don't label her as too demanding or too intense. Listen, reflect, rise, because the man who can handle being challenged becomes the man who is worthy of being followed. And the woman who dares to challenge you, she's not tearing you down. She's quietly building you up one brave question at a time. Number 5. When she defends you behind your back, she's not impressing, she's revealing loyalty. You weren't there, but the conversation was about you. Some friend of a friend, with a smug tone, casually said, "He's not really that ambitious, is he? Or maybe I don't see what's so special about him." And before anyone else could respond, she did. Not with drama, not with shouting, but with a quiet, unwavering conviction that made the room fall still. You don't know the half of what he's building, and you don't need to because I do. That moment didn't make the news. You didn't get a text about it. She didn't come home and brag, because real loyalty doesn't need to be performed. It's reflexive. And when a woman truly loves you, defending your name when you're not there becomes instinct, not strategy. That's how you know her love isn't about validation. It's not transactional, it's protective. She guards the image of you that she knows is true, even when others don't see it, even when you're not around to appreciate it. Because for her, love is not just about what she says to you, it's about what she says about you, especially when you're not listening. Now, why does this matter so much? Because in today's world, where image is everything and loyalty is often performative, this kind of behind-the-scenes protection is rare. It tells you something crucial. She doesn't just support your presence, she supports your absence. That's not just affectionate, that's allegiance. And here's where Stoicism elevates your awareness. Epictetus teaches, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. But even in those moments where the world misunderstands you, having someone who sees past appearances, who stands firm in your character, becomes a quiet form of strength. She doesn't need the crowd to cheer for you. She becomes the one-person army who does it anyway. And when you hear about it through a friend or a story days later, something shifts in you. You realize, she's not just with me when things are easy. She protects my name when it's under fire. She reminds people of my value even when I'm not there to defend it. This is the kind of love that is fierce in silence. So how should you respond? Not with showy gratitude, not with reciprocation just to match her, but with something deeper. Reverence. Recognize that what she's doing is sacred, and when the moment comes, return the favor. Speak well of her when she's not there. Defend her energy, her intention, her efforts, especially when others misunderstand her. Because love isn't proven in the spotlight. It's revealed in the shadows, in conversations and decisions no one sees. And the woman who protects your name when it's vulnerable, she's not just proud of you. She's invested in you. And that kind of woman, you don't just keep her close. You honor her with the same quiet strength she's already giving you. Number 6. When she shares her dreams. With you, she's not fantasizing, she's including you. It might happen over coffee or during a late-night walk when she starts talking about the future, not just her future, but a future where you're woven into the picture. She mentions a city she wants to live in, a business she dreams of starting, or a quiet cabin in the mountains where she imagines mornings with you. These aren't just idle daydreams. When a woman loves you deeply, her dreams stop being solo adventures. They become a shared canvas, and she's inviting you to paint alongside her. This is a subtle but profound sign of her love. She's not just sharing her aspirations, she's trusting you with them. She's saying, I see you in my life, not just today, but in the tomorrows I'm building. And that vulnerability is immense because dreams are fragile. By letting you in, she's risking judgment, rejection, or the fear that you might not care as much as she does. But she shares anyway because her love for you outweighs her fear of being exposed. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, and Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." When she shares her dreams, she's binding her fate to yours, even if just in words for now. Your role isn't to critique her vision or point out its impracticalities. It's to listen with presence, to honor her courage, and to show her that her dreams matter to you. Ask her, what excites you most about that idea? Or how can I support you in making that real? These questions don't commit you to a contract, they show her you're engaged, that you value her inner world. The Stoic man doesn't dismiss her dreams as fanciful or unrealistic. He sees them as a window into her soul, a sign that she's chosen to include him in the most intimate part of her imagination. By responding with curiosity and respect, you deepen her trust. You show her that her love, expressed through these shared visions, is safe with you. And when she feels safe dreaming with you, her love grows from a spark into a steady flame. Number 7. When she loves the unfinished you, she's not settling. She's seeing what others missed. There are days when you're not proud of yourself. You didn't meet the deadline, you lost your temper, you stared too long at the mirror and saw a man who still carries wounds, some unhealed, some even unacknowledged. You're not the man you want to be, not yet, and yet she stays. She doesn't flinch when you show your flaws. She doesn't withdraw when your dreams feel too distant. She doesn't walk away when you admit your fears. In fact, she leans in, and maybe you wonder, why would she love me like this? I'm still a mess, still trying to figure it out, because she sees something most people overlook. She doesn't just love your confidence, she respects your courage. She doesn't just love your victories, she admires your resilience. She's not looking for perfection, she's looking for direction. And if she sees that you're moving slowly, imperfectly, stubbornly toward a better version of yourself, that's enough. In a world obsessed with results, a woman who loves your process is rare. And when she chooses to walk beside you in that journey, she's not lowering her standards. She's raising her level of commitment. The truth is, this kind of love feels uncomfortable at first, because it exposes you, not in your power, but in your becoming. And most men haven't been taught how to handle that kind of intimacy. We're conditioned to believe we must achieve love, that we must arrive before we are accepted, that love is only deserved when the mission is complete. But she already sees your battle. She already respects your struggle. And instead of waiting at the finish line, she walks with you through the setbacks. That's not weakness, that's unshakable love. From a Stoic perspective, this is where humility and strength meet. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Look well into thyself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if thou wilt always look." And when she looks at you, she doesn't see just the flaws. She sees the man choosing daily not to give up, not on himself, not on her, not on what he's building, even if no one else sees it yet. So what do you do when you realize she's loving the unfinished version of you? You don't panic. You don't apologize for being in progress. You simply keep going. You let her presence become part of your fuel, not your crutch, but your mirror. You keep your head down. You refine your habits. You tend to your goals like sacred ground, not to earn her love, but to honor it. Because a woman who stays during your uncertain seasons, who still holds your hand when you're failing quietly, who whispers, "I see you trying, and that's enough for me," that woman doesn't want the perfect man. She wants the man who refuses to stop becoming. And if you're wise, you'll rise not for her approval, but because she believed before you even arrived. Number 8. When she forgives your mistakes, she's not weak. She's choosing you over her pain. It's not just the small oversights like forgetting to call when you said you would. It's the bigger moments. The time you raised your voice in frustration, or failed to show up when she needed you most, or let your insecurities cast a shadow over her light. You expected her to pull away, to hold a grudge, to walk out. But instead, she stayed. She didn't excuse your behavior, she called it out. Maybe with tears, maybe with silence, but then she forgave you. Not because she had to, but because she chose to. This is one of the deepest signs of love, and it's often the hardest to recognize. Forgiveness isn't weakness, it's strength. It's her saying, I see your flaws, I feel the hurt, but I believe in us more than I believe in my pain. When a woman loves you deeply, her forgiveness isn't passive. It's an active choice to prioritize the connection over her ego, to rebuild trust even when it's easier to walk away. And that choice? It's a sacred act of love that demands your respect. Stoicism teaches us to own what we control, and Seneca wrote, "To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden." When she forgives you, she's practicing her own form of stoic resilience, choosing to bear the trial of your mistake with grace. Your role isn't to take that forgiveness for granted or to assume it's guaranteed. It's to meet her strength with your own. Acknowledge your mistake without defensiveness. Say, I messed up, and I'm grateful you're giving me a chance to make it right. I'll work to do better. Then follow through, not with grand promises, but with quiet, consistent action. The Stoic man doesn't see her forgiveness as a free pass. He sees it as a call to rise, to refine his character, to prove through deeds that her trust wasn't misplaced. Because a woman who forgives you isn't just letting go of the past, she's betting on your future. And when she makes that bet, you don't just accept it. You honor it by becoming the man worthy of her faith. She never told you directly. She didn't hand you a letter or a contract or a flawless version of herself. She just kept showing up, with all her fire, with all her fear, with all her hope wrapped in tiny gestures. She argued with you not to push you away, but to pull you closer. She remembered your stories not to impress you, but to understand you. She challenged your comfort not to criticize, but to call out the man she knows you could become. She stayed when you failed, not because she had to, but because she believed. This is love in its rawest, rarest form, and it will not wait forever for you to wake up to it. So if you recognize these signs, don't analyze them, don't test them, don't try to control them, just meet them with quiet strength, with emotional sovereignty, with the type of presence that only a man who knows himself can offer. Because in the end, a woman doesn't want to be saved. She wants to be seen. And if you can do that with your silence, your steadiness, your respect, you won't need to ask if she loves you. You'll feel it. Because real love doesn't need confirmation. It just needs a place to land. If this message found something true inside you, subscribe to the channel and let's keep building the kind of masculinity that attracts real love without ever chasing it. See you in the next one.